Turning our attention now to the big news today, Prime Minister Narendra Modi arrived in Hyderabad to dedicate a slew of development projects to the state of Telangana and the nation. But all he faced was the heat of the opposition. First, Chief Minister KCR broke the protocol of welcoming the Prime Minister at the airport, and then subsequently several posters were put up allegedly by members of the ruling TRS equating Prime Minister Narendra Modi with Ravana. Not just that, not just the TRS, but also the Communist Party of India staged a protest with black balloons asking the Prime Minister to leave the state of Telangana.
Yeah, this is not the first time that the Prime Minister, in fact, has come empty-handed to the state of Telangana. And we have got the utmost respect for our Honorable Prime Minister, and we hope that the Prime Minister will not just make the empty promises, and all these things can be seen because the state is going through elections next year. So this is very evident that it is a political visit of our Honorable Prime Minister to Telangana, again an empty-handed.
మరివాళ ప్రధానమంత్రి మోడీ గారు వచ్చారు మన రాష్ట్రానికి. వారు ఏమీ కూడా రాష్ట్రానికి లేకుండా ఖాళీ చేతులతో వచ్చి ఉత్త మాటలు ఉత్తితి మాటలు ఉన్న మాటలు లేని మాటలు చెప్పిపోవడం తప్పితే వారు మనకు చేసేది ఏమీ లేదు. మన ముఖ్యమంత్రి గారు వారిని ప్రశ్నించింది ఇదివరకు 2-3 ప్రెస్ మీట్లు పెట్టి ఏం చేసింది మా రాష్ట్రానికి చెప్పండి అని అడిగింది. దానికి ఎక్కడ కూడా సమాధానం చెప్పకుండా తప్పించుకొని తిరుగుతూ ఇవాళ వచ్చి ఏదో చిన్న ఓపెనింగ్ పెట్టుకొని.
Now, this is not the first time when Prime Minister Narendra Modi has faced an insult from the ranks of the opposition. Several opposition netas have abused the Prime Minister in the past, even made several personal remarks. But Prime Minister Modi replied to these insults, saying that such abuses give nutrition to him.
कुछ लोग निराशा के कारण, हताशा के कारण, भय के कारण, अंधविश्वास के कारण सुबह शाम मोदी को गालियां देते रहते हैं. मैं तो पिछले 20-22 साल से बड़ी वैरायटी की गालियां खा चुका हूं. तो लोग मुझे पूछते थकते नहीं हो, तो मैंने उनको समझाया, देखो भाई, मैं डेली 2 किलो, 2.5 किलो, 3 किलो गाली खाता हूं. सारी गालियां मेरे अंदर प्रोसेस होके न्यूट्रिशन में कन्वर्ट हो जाती है.
Now, this is all happening in the build-up to the Telangana state elections to be held next year. And joining me right now are representatives of the BJP as well as the TRS. Mr. Dinakar Lanka speaking on behalf of the BJP, and Mr. Khaleeq-Ur-Reham, leader of the TRS as well. Thank you, gentlemen, for speaking to us. Mr. Khaleeq-Ur-Reham, let me immediately come to you. There were two interesting points that the Prime Minister raised. One is, of course, his allegation that he's subjected to a lot of abuse, something that he's willing to tolerate. And secondly, he also made a direct jab at Mr. KCR as well as his family for indulging in what the Prime Minister called during his speech in Begumpet as blind superstition when it comes to taking policy decisions as well as appointments within the government. What's your response to that?
Very good evening, and good evening to my co-panelist, Mr. Dinakar Garu. Let me tell you that we have the utmost respect for our Honorable Prime Minister, and we extend a very hearty welcome to our Honorable Prime Minister to the Golden State of Telangana. And we have never abused our Prime Minister, and we cannot even think of abusing the Prime Minister because he is the Prime Minister of a country. But we have always been talking about the unkept promises of our Prime Minister, the promises what our Honorable Prime Minister and the BJP party has made during the election, during 2024 and even during 2019. And none of those promises have been kept. And also the stepmotherly treatment which was meted out to the state of Telangana, to the people of Telangana. And the So there are so many instances where Telangana was neglected deliberately by the government of India. And that is when we spoke. So it is not that we abused or we, made any personal attack on our Prime Minister. But we talked about the policies, we talked about the issues, which, need not be taken personally. It is all about, the interest of the people of Telangana. And we have always worked to protect the interests of the people of the Telangana. And if you remember, after the BJP came into power in 2014, we in fact cooperated and worked very closely with the Prime Minister, of India and the government of India. We thought that, we would get, and we in the sense the people of Telangana would get the justice from the central government in terms of supporting the projects, in terms of releasing the money to complete the projects, in terms of giving the promised projects.
So your contention, Mr. Rahman, is that the Prime Minister has made a lot of promises to the people of Telangana, but he's not fulfilled them. Let me take this across to Mr. Dinakar Lanka of the BJP.
I can list out. The promises.
Yes. We'll have that. Sure. But let me, in fact, get a perspective from him as well. Mr. Lanka, what do you make of what Mr. Khaleeq-Ur-Reham has said? He also said that we've never personally abused the Prime Minister, but what do you make of the posters that have been put out to receive the Prime Minister, equating him with Ravana? What's your response?
It is absolutely nonsense. These TRS leaders, they are in disgruntled position because they know that they are unable to fight against BJP politically. That's why they are making these kind of personal allegations. Whether any single person in this country makes such comments when the Prime Minister Narendra Modi legally, after obtaining verdict to construct a Ram temple in Ayodhya, whether anyone refers as Ravana, let people will decide who is the Rakshasa, who is the Rakshasamsha, who is squeezing the blood and flesh of the Telangana people. Let people will decide in coming elections. There is no question of any ambiguity in it. And then why these kind of controversial posters they are making just for the sake of inaugurating 22 years old shut down Ramagandam fertilizers and chemicals factory is reopening by means of renovation with 6,120 crore rupees. For the sake of that, they are making these kind of posters. Let them give answer. My straight point is, let you take one example. Jal Jeevan Mission, 100% achieved state is Telangana as per the statistics. Whether these achievements happen to the Telangana without support from the union government, it is union government scheme. And the double bedroom scheme, which is announced by the Honorable Chief Minister KCR, he hasn't achieved, even though union government has given funds, he is unable to complete, he is not delivering as per his promise. He gave the promise to the people of Telangana to make the scheduled caste person as Chief Minister. For that failure, whether these kind of posters to be placed by the people of Telangana, he himself has given promise that 10 lakh rupees for each SC families to make them as entrepreneurs. KCR has given promise. Whether he has completed that particular promise, he promised 3 acres land for each SC family. He has given a single acre land under this scheme. My straight question is, he failed. He utterly failed. That's why to divert all these issues.
One final word from both the panelists right here. This is also happening in the backdrop of the conclusion of the Munugode bipole, which the TRS won. But Mr. Khaleeq-Ur-Reham, even though your party won, will you acknowledge that the principal challenger facing the TRS for the subsequent elections in Telangana is going to be the BJP and not the Congress party?
See, whoever is going to fight the election against us, whether it is BJP or the Congress, we always welcome, every party to come and fight democratically. And we, in fact, even if there is an independent candidate, we take the independent candidate seriously. So forget about BJP or the Congress. So, and this is a democratic process. We are there. But Munugode election, in fact, has exposed BJP very blatantly in front of the nation. And the kind of exercise what they have done during the election poaching upon the MLAs, which is something very, very shameful, I would say.
Let me
one should not
take that across to Mr. Dinakar Lanka. The charges that were levelled against the BJP, Mr. Lanka, and one final word from you is that your party was so desperate that it tried to poach TRS MLAs. An FIR has been filed in this regard, but I'll allow you one rebuttal to what Mr. Khaleeq-Ur-Reham has said, as well as the charges levelled against the BJP.
No, it is no single BJP leader is placed in the entire episode. How can they make blame? It is the whole story cooked by the KCR for the sake of Munugodu by-election to divert the people's attention to win for BJP. As far as victory of TRS is concerned, out of 100 representatives, MLAs and MPs and ministers who came, and each and every village, they poached the other party leaders. They technically did win. Morally, BJP did win. How many votes we had in 2018? What is my vote share now? Let you come forward. It is the challenge. In next general election, there is no possibility of coming all these leaders and support for the TRS candidate in Munugodu.
Absolutely.
Definitely BJP will
Mr. Khaleeq-Ur-Reham as well as Mr. Dinakar Lanka, that was actually a very fruitful discussion. Thank you so much for joining us. It promises to be a big election next year, and we all look forward to it. The Prime Minister himself invoked the Munugodu bypoll during the course of his speech. We'll slip into a short break for now. We'll come back with more on the other side. Thank you, gentlemen.